first year, actually the roughest 2 years for NAFDAC, because in 2024 January, we were notified that our account as of 2023 December that had about 19 billion was closed. We could not access it. And a new account was opened for us January 2024 with 0 balance. Whenever we want to buy diesel for one vehicle, we start looking at whether money has dropped.
Thank you for your efforts. We've read over the news how you've intercepted a lot of fake productions of fake medicines and consumables. So thank you so much. I believe that you do need a robust budget to carry out your activities. But my only concern is I'm surprised why the minister is not here. And I think we should make it a duty. No. What I'm saying is, while the ministers should stay and witness the presentations of all the agencies. It's very important because since they are the supervising bodies and coordinating bodies, they must be here because it would have helped the minister understand your concerns and growth plans better. So maybe we should make it that, not just for health, but even education. As we progress through all the budgetary interfaces with the ministries, we should insist that the ministers should be able to sacrifice a day or two to attend all the presentations of the agencies under them. Very important, please. Thank you so much.
Budget presentation, budget hearing. I would like you to tell us what you have been able to do in the last budgets that you have had to implement, and what you propose to do, what constraints you've had, how your templates, your expenditures, and all those things. Just explain to us so that Nigerians can understand what is going on with NAFDAC and all the functions that you have engaged in. Thank you very much and welcome. I'd like
during the past year, and I would like to have my staff introduce themselves first. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, our distinguished chairman of the Senate Health Committee. We have three packets. The first one is 2026 budget proposals based on lots. Based on lots. That is the one that has the full or almost the full budget contents. We have a table of contents on that particular packet. 2026 budget proposals based on lots. And yes, ma'am. We experience budget-wise as at December 2025. For 2025, the revenue generation budgeted was 40. And please pardon me if I use approximation. It's 45.7 billion naira. That is the revenue generation. The actual, as at December 2025, is 37.5 billion naira. In terms of the expenditure, overhead expenditure, what was budgeted and approved for us was 16.1 billion naira. And as of December last year, we came close, 15.9 billion naira. That is for overhead expenditure. For the capital expenditure, what was budgeted for us for was 32.1 billion naira. As at December 2025, the performance was just 8.5 billion naira. It has been a rough year, the roughest year, actually the roughest 2 years for NAFDAC, because in 2024 January, we were notified that our account, as of 2023 December, that had about 19 billion was closed. We could not access it. And a new account was opened for us January 2024 with zero balance. Whenever we want to buy diesel for one vehicle, we start looking at whether money has dropped to buy diesel, because we could not access 19 billion naira that we had up to 2023. And bear in mind, sirs and ma, that the act that created NAFDAC gave NAFDAC the power to roll over the money, because our regulation doesn't end in 1 year. And I will give an example. A manufacturer applies to register a product. If it is overseas, that manufacturer pays $10,500 along with the registration fee, because that is what it's going to take for 2 people to go and inspect that company when the product is approved. To approve a product takes about a year, roughly. So that money is sitting on our platform, and people are seeing it and thinking NAFDAC has money. It is money that is there to deliver service that we have not yet delivered. That is why the creators of our agency, or that developed the act, thought ahead that NAFDAC is not like any other MDA. Which means, another example is post-marketing surveillance. Whatever is paid by the company, we need to use it for over 5 years before we give another renewal. So our money is not just for 1 year. But I want to just make sure that we understand why we had 19 billion. Aside from capital projects, we start state office, we cannot finish, we cannot say, oh, that money is going to go, because the money is already approved. So for 2024, it was the hellish period for NAFDAC. We finally got something 2025, a little bit of money, because in 2024, we brought in 31 billion, and the AGF's office took 30 billion. So the 19 billion that was removed in 2023, they said, okay, we can get 9 billion out of it, about half. Then after the 9 billion that was supposed to be ours now, they said we can only get 50% out of it. That was what we were able to use for 2024. But they didn't even release it until later in 2025. So it's been extremely devastating to the masses, because it's not money that we put in our pocket. It is the money we use for laboratory testing, the money we use for post-marketing surveillance, the money we use for safety monitoring of vaccines. And I want the country to know that NAFDAC is not about the DG or the staff. It is about all of us. Because if one person is not safe, everybody is not safe. So, because you cannot imagine 32 billion budgeted and only 8 billion How many children have died? How many women have died? How many men have died of hypertension if we don't do enforcement? So let's move on to 2026. We are proposing for revenue 47.1 billion, for overhead expenditure 26.6 billion naira, for capital expenditure 20.5 billion naira. I want us to please move to page 2 in terms of our revenue. We have two streams of revenues. One that I inherited and is called IGR, and the other one is user fees. For all regulatory agencies across the world, there's what is called user fees. User fees are money paid for service, and I gave an example of the inspection, overseas inspection. IGR covers sales of registration form, advertisement fee, chemical permit, import permit, product certificate fee, workshop fee, and so on and so forth. For user fees, inspection fee, laboratory analysis fee, and with the laboratory analysis fee comes equipment, heavy money-consuming activity for us. Radiation fee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, distinguished colleagues. Mine is just to commend the DG. I watched your interview on channels where you defended alcohol, selling alcohol on sachet, and I was so much impressed. All attempt by the interviewers to twist you stood your ground. So, Madam, I just have to say, continue your good work. That is all I have to say.
Chairman, mine is not a question, it's just a comment. I quite felt very emotional when the DG was speaking. I've listened to you several times make presentations here, not once, not twice, and your competence and capacity has never been in question. And we thank you for, like you said, trying to make gold out of grass. At some point you used the word that it was a devastating situation, and we feel for you. You've achieved a lot from almost not the support you are supposed to get. I can understand the handicap, and from the way you spoke, I hope you don't get tired. I just hope you don't get tired. Yeah, even us here, I don't know how we can be able to help, but I think we should look inwards and see how we support NAFDAC. There's no way you can build a mountain out of a molehill. I'm just going to encourage you not to get tired. It's a situation that we found ourselves. I don't want to also sound frustrated, because if we, who are supposed to assist, are handicapped and frustrated too, then it means there's a catastrophe. So please, Madam, be encouraged. Don't get tired. Whatever we can do, we will. Thank you.